Okay, so what has worked well for me is I have always been not afraid of taking the first step. So it is okay to not know what you want in life. It is completely okay. I'm still trying to figure it out. And one thing I would say that worked for me is the dedication and concerted hard work. So that is always going to help you, and you really need to do that in order to succeed in any field.
Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of Echoes After EOD. Today our guest is Nazish Zaidi. He is a chief manager of supply chain design at GeoMart based out of Hyderabad. Over the past 2.5 years, he has optimized the last mile networks, cut the delivery cost, and rolled out real-time automation over there. Before that, he also spent 2 years setting up dark store processes and promotions at Blinkit. Since he has a lot of quality experience for the quick commerce space, let's try to jump into this session and get those insights, right, which we as young corporate professionals want to have about the quick commerce space in general. So, welcome, Nazish. It's great to have you on the podcast.
Hey, good morning, Arnav. Thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast.
So, just to dive right in, right, I know that you are currently working in GeoMart. So, first, I wanted to begin the session by understanding the core value proposition which GeoMart brings as compared to its competitors.
So GeoMart is an organization that is under the umbrella of Reliance Retail, you know, and it operates across more than 20,000 pin codes across the country. And we deliver products from all over India to customers who are in every nook and corner. And a thing about GeoMart is that it has an offline presence in almost every city, maybe metro, tier one, and tier two cities as part of the Reliance store. So you must have come across a smart bazaar store across every city throughout the country. And the good or the proposition that helps to bring is the trust we have with the customers. So in most of the online channels, we see that customers order something and maybe they are not able to like it. But GeoMart has sort of built that trust with its customers that we are present in the both online as well as the offline channel.
Got it. And I know that you are mainly looking at the online interface of the supply chain. So I would like to scope my questions towards that angle as well. So, first of all, when you enter into a new product category, what are the variables which you kind of assess from the customer data in terms of having low profit margin and also seeing that, okay, I will be able to supply it basis what the customer needs and the amount of competitors which are present in this space. So, what are the variables when you are going into new product categories which you consider?
If we talk about what we look into before generally launching in a city or a geography, uh, is definitely the demand for the product. If we have through our offline channels as well, we look at uh, data between ICs. If that product, how quickly has that been selling. We get there are teams, separate teams of category and BDMs who sort of gather insights from ground from seller teams where they have been selling this product. If at all, the demand has been good uh, for other ICs as well. And if some of these sellers have been selling these products to other ICs in what quantity, what has been their DRR or the daily run rate. So a lot of different teams work on it. Uh, how quickly can we deliver the products to the customer, and how well are we on those SLAs? So it's all about making shipping fee or shipping speeds as fast as possible, uh, ensuring that we get the maximum benefit in cost as well as the experience the customer is having.
So when we give the discounting strategies, and we also see that on many e-commerce platforms, right, that there are certain days on which customers know that we will get the best prices on this particular platform. So is it more of a push strategy where you're trying to push the products which are not getting sold basis your analysis, or is it that you have already included the element of discount when you are pricing the product? and you know that we just have to do the discount, and then this is what the price which the customers are expecting.
I think it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Let me just put it. It's obviously not every pricing strategy is a push strategy. Pricing plays a crucial role in deciding the sort of spike and the uh, traction you get on the platform, and it is used strategically at different times during the period, during different days, uh, so that we get the most out of it.
So, are there any tools, right, which you have worked upon your experience, which helps in the planning process, the capacity planning, as well as analyzing the customer insights?
Of course, internally we use Tableau for analyzing and visualizing data. But many a times it happens that I have started using Python
Mhm.
to sort of do a lot of work which I was doing on Excel, and sort of exported it to do using it or automated it using Python.
I know that you have worked on making the SOPs in Blinkit. So there is one thing of making the SOPs, and that can be some additional paperwork as well. But how do you ensure that people are compliant?
Firstly, is the phase where you teach or you sort of coach the intended audience about what the change is, uh, and how it is going to impact the business. The second is when you actually measure how effectively is the change process being followed. We create SOPs for them. So SOPs are nothing but the document. You said that these are paperwork, but they are very crucial
Yeah.
for any of us to understand the new processes. And then the next part comes is the training. So whenever we introduce a new process, we ensure that every person who has to follow the process undergoes a set of training.
So Nazish, we know that quick commerce is like rapidly diversifying as well as it is changing every day. So if I take the example, right, we know that now quick commerce has also entered the pharmacy space, the meal kit space. And right now there was a news where Blinkit also collaborated with Airtel to deliver the SIMs, right, at the doorsteps. Just as a person who is in quick commerce, what is your view on the diversifying of quick commerce into these spaces? And do you think that it is rapidly increasing and which it might like increase at a level where it is difficult to sustain the quality and the deliverables which it is currently providing?
Yeah, so for quick commerce, I would say that it has become an essential part of people, especially a lot of youngsters. So it is, and it is natural for them to sort of start expanding their product portfolios to offerings to different customers, because that is how you end up making more margin. So it was natural for a lot of quick commerce company to start diversifying into high value products, especially electronic goods and consumer durables, which offer better margins, and it ensures that their last mile costs are being salvaged.
Just in retrospect, you want to think about your journey from Blinkit, then to GeoMart, and being a very experienced professional now in quick commerce space. Is that a trajectory which you thought that you would go into? Or how did it build up? Like from SPJMR placements, if you have to just recount and reminiscence those days.
So when I was placed in Grofers, it was not a quick commerce. It was a e-commerce company in grocery e-commerce firm. So yes, that was something you are there at the right time at the right moment. I didn't really plan for it to be in such a way. And my career trajectory was not that I thought of it. No, I will be at a quick commerce space. I wanted to build a quick
Mhm.
commerce. It just happened that I was at the right place at the right time.
And just one last thing before we wrap up the podcast. If you have to just go through your journey, right? So there are things which would have worked well for you in your career, and there would have been definite mistakes as well, or some things which you think that probably could have been done differently. So just to give generic gyan, right, to us new corporate professionals so that they can just think beyond their ears, how would you define these two buckets?
Okay, so what has worked well for me is I have always been not afraid of taking the first step. So it is okay to not know what you want in life. It is completely okay. I'm still trying to figure it out. And one thing I would say that worked for me is the dedication. and concerted hard work. So that is always going to help you, and you really need to do that in order to succeed in any field. And if you talk about one thing that has not worked for me, I wouldn't say hadn't worked for me. When I first joined the companies, and I was given a task to solve, many times I solved it academically. How to get the best insights out of data, how to make the best presentations, how to give the best flow charts and stuff, how to give the best recommendations. But what a business leader needs is how it is going to impact those business, right? So understanding those key KPIs that is going to impact your project is going to impact, understanding who are the key stakeholders who are going to work with you or whose alignment is needed is very crucial when you start anything. So yeah.
Oh, definitely. I think that's a great insight as well. And that happened with me as well, where I was not thinking about the larger picture of doing a thing, but rather just making it sure that I do it from with the perfect way, but not seeing what is the largest objective which other stakeholders want from that particular task. So thanks for that, Nazish. That brings us to the end of the podcast. I genuinely feel it was a very insightful podcast, especially on the quick commerce space. And thanks, Nazish, again for answering all the questions so honestly and transparently. And it was great having you on
Yeah.
the
Thank,
podcast.
yeah. Thank you, Arnav, for having me.